Ahoy there, and welcome to the $1,000 to $100,000 trading challenge. Now, in 2001, I went full-time in my own trading career, and essentially I started with a small $1,000 trading account. Now, using the same methods that we're going to describe in this challenge, the trading account went from $1,000 to $92,500 in a little over 8 months. Now, every once in a while, I like to replicate this challenge for myself, and I've done this several times over the years to keep my skills sharp and basically make sure that I can still do it. Now, on January the 4th of this year, I started my challenge once again. Only this time, you get to ride alongside with me. This is actually the first time that I've done this challenge publicly. Now, on Saturday, there will be a short training which will outline the step-by-step process that's being used for the $100,000 trading challenge. And just a quick rundown of the things that we're going to include is the strategy that we're obviously using, the markets. We're basically trading index futures. We're utilizing CFDs so that we can take advantage of small account trading. We're going to run through the basic chart reading skills that you need for success. And obviously we outline the simple trend system that we use to basically pick which way we should be trading today, tomorrow, and essentially this week. There's the outline of the mechanical entries, exits, stops, and targets. Now, this is what I use on a day-to-day basis because it means that I'm not tied to the computer. So when you've figured out the direction that you're going to trade, you don't need to look at the charts again that day. And depending on how the week unfolds, you only need to really check into them, once or twice per week, which means that it's not time intensive when we're at the charts. Now, for those of you who do want to be a little bit more active, I will explain a simple discretionary version of entries, exits, stops, and targets. If you want to be a little bit more actively engaged in the markets and finesse and fine-tune your entries, then that's possible as well. It's not necessary, as I've just mentioned. I'm using the mechanical entries. It means that I don't need to check into the charts multiple times in the day or the week. And I just need to pick which way I'm trading and then go with the flow. We're also going to outline the mental fortitude that you need for long-term success. This was by request of several people who mentioned that they were interested. What is the psychology and the mindset required for long-term success? So we'll outline how we actually do this. And, looking back on a 20-year career, looking back at the steps and process that I've taken to ensure that I had a 20-year career in trading the financial markets. Now, we've also got a private group. It's a Slack group. It's essentially a messenger group. It's going to allow me to deliver real-time alerts. That's why we're using a messenger platform. Again, it's not necessarily an alert service. It just allows you to get timely alerts so that you can see what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, as it's happening. And obviously you can ask me any questions that may or may not arise during the trading day. And of course, the training itself, recordings will be made available after the events. Obviously, it's got to be after the events because I've got to record the events. But nevertheless, you will have access to the training so that you can go back and review any of the elements that you need to revisit. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is make sure that we can find trading setups just like this. And this is the last 2 weeks as I'm recording this. And essentially, we've got, again, fabulous opportunities every single day in the markets. And we want to be able to find trades just like this and profit from them on a regular basis. And again, as I'm recording this last week, the market literally went from 2571, which is the S&P futures, all the way up to 2677. And we caught the lion's share of that with very little pain, very little headache. And you can see the previous week as well. You can see the general flow and trend of the markets has been bullish the last couple of weeks. And, we're in on the majority of that movement every time. It's a very simple process. It's a very profitable process. And this is what I'm using to take $1,000 to $100,000 in as quicker time as possible. And it's a strategy that I've used successfully many times over over the last decade and a half. It is a profitable and yet simple and robust strategy. And we're going to be going through the process of how to actually set you up for success during this trading challenge so that you can follow along in your own way. So this is your personal invitation to join the $100,000 trading challenge. All you need to do is to click the link and join the 1K to $100,000 challenge, and we can get started. So when you click the link, you will be taken to the order form. What you'll see is you'll notice that there's two choices. The group training will be happening on Saturday, and after you've signed up, you'll be sent the details of when that's going to be happening. It will be favorable for US residents as well as European. It's going to be in the UK afternoon. It's going to be in the US morning, just to keep it nice and loose. But nevertheless, it will be recorded, so you'll have availability after the event as well, so that you can rewatch all those parts that need revisiting. But nevertheless, we've got the group training version on Saturday, and a few of you have asked for a one-on-one version. So if you want to take the one-on-one training where it'll be just me and you, I'll get you set up. We'll make sure that you fully understand what you're doing, when you're doing, how you're doing it as regards to the trading challenge, and get you set up that is most relevant to you and your unique situation. So there's two choices when you get to the cart. Again, very simply, select the one that's most appropriate. You've got the group training or the one-on-one training. In both situations, you'll have access to the recorded training and the full strategy outline and everything that we've mentioned up to this point. After you've completed your order, you'll be sent to a thank you page just to say basically thank you. Ultimately, you'll hear from me shortly afterwards with the details that we've mentioned of when we're going to start. And if you've booked a one-on-one training program, then we'll figure out the best time that works for you. So whichever you choose, make sure it's the right one for you. And we will be officially starting on Saturday. And you can follow along with the trading challenge and the journey from $1,000 to $100,000. The great news is we're already 33% up on the account so far in a short space of time. So it's going to be fabulous. Great things are always afoot. So all you need to do is to click the link and join the $1,000 to $100,000 trading challenge. And again, our ultimate objective is to help you find trades just like this every single day, every single week, without being a slave to computer and a slave to the charts. That's where we're at, folks. I will see you on the inside.